Seen from space, you could almost say Irma looks beautiful. From ground level, though, she has a very different face. The Caribbean island of St. Martin hit by 185-mile-an-hour winds, and Irma is still going, heading perhaps for the US mainland. It is what we sometimes rather helplessly refer to as an act of God. No one to blame, nothing to be done but pick through the wreckage, mourn the dead and count the cost. But with two major hurricanes one after another, is this perhaps something else, an act of man, or at least man-made climate change? The Greek president today was categoric. This was climate change, and President Trump must act. I speak directly to the United States, he said, because they are the victims of climate change for the second time in a few days. But are the scientists as certain as the politicians?
From observations alone, we will never be able to say that this is the event that would only have happened in a changing climate, because if you drill down to the individual storm, all extreme events are unique. However, we can say, and we need observations and climate models to do these studies, but we have climate models nowadays that can do this kind of job. We can say that the likelihood of certain events occurring has changed due to anthropogenic climate change. And definitely the very extreme rainfall is one of the things where the likelihood has increased due to climate change.
This year in the North Atlantic, there have so far been 11 named storms, of which 6 have been hurricanes. The average between 1981 and 2010 was 6 named storms and 2.6 hurricanes, so we appear to be well up. In terms of wind speed, Irma is the joint second strongest on record at 185 miles an hour, eclipsed only by Hurricane Allen in 1980 with a maximum wind speed of 190 miles an hour. And with 2¼ days at Category 5 intensity so far, Irma is the 4th longest duration hurricane on record, but still a whole day behind Hurricane Cuba, which in 1932 blew for 3¼ days. The mechanism by which a warming climate might cause more hurricanes seems pretty clear-cut.
The fuel that drives hurricanes is water vapour, and the water vapour is evaporated off the sea surface, and the warmer the sea surface, the more water vapour is evaporated and there's more energy to drive the storms. So with global warming, the sea's warmer and there's more water vapour being evaporated and there's more of the fuel to drive the big storms.
And if we look at this graph produced by the US National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration last year, it does show a steady uptick of average sea temperatures. However, there are many other factors at play in the formation of a storm, some of which actually become less likely because of a warmer climate.
There is a competing effect, which is that if we also see higher temperatures higher up in the atmosphere, that actually weakens hurricanes. And so we cannot say that we will see more intense hurricanes full stop in a changing climate. But with the hurricanes that have been analyzed so far, there have been a number that have intensified due to higher temperatures, but there is also a number that have weakened due to higher temperatures. But certainly what we can definitely say is that the associated rainfall inland, there we see the effects of climate change most strongly.
It's true that with 49.32 inches of rain, Hurricane Harvey is the US record breaker so far, but it's not by much. Tropical Storm Amelia in 1978 dumped 48 inches and Hurricane Easy in 1950 dumped 45.2. And Tropical Storm Claudette in 1979 dropped 45 inches of rain, and none of these would presumably be blamed on climate change.
So we can't say a specific storm now is due to climate change, but we can say if we look over decades, we'll be able to see that the intensity of the storms is going up.
What has caused the storm that brought them so much misery is probably not of much interest to the people in the Caribbean having to rebuild their homes and lives. In the genesis of storms, science can't offer certainty, just probabilities and trends over time.